interesting story. I grew up in Worcester, Massachusetts, which is west of Boston, and I grew up with a guy by the name of Steve Martin, not that Steve Martin, but this Steve Martin was in a band called Orpheus, which is a pretty popular band. They had a couple of hit records, and Steve now runs an online open mic that was conceived during the pandemic called the Catbird Cafe, which grew out of a live venue, which was down on the South Shore of Boston, I think in Weymouth, somewhere like that. I was talking to Steve one day, and he said, you've got to check. A friend of mine lives down in Arizona, and I think he said Glendale. Do I got that right? Goodyear. I was close. And I said, what's his name? And he said his name is the Duke of Uke. Yeah. And I said, well, that sounds kind of interesting. And he said, well, I'm going to tell him about your open mic. And I said, do that. And I'm just so glad you checked us out here. Are you a full-time guy? You're a snowbird or?
No, I've been here for 7 years now.
Okay.
I must say, I've really enjoyed this evening. It's been
thank you.
It was night.
So great to have you out here.
I'll be back again. For sure.
Are you originally from out east? Or?
I'm originally from Hull, Massachusetts.
Oh, Hull, yeah. Yeah, and this guy I'm talking about now, Steven, he lives in Hull, Massachusetts, which is on the beach just south of Boston. My uncle actually owned a day summer camp there back in the 50s and 60s called Lou's Summer Camp. And yes, it was as palatial and glamorous as it sounds. But I think the kids had a good time there. But I'm really glad you could make it over here from Goodyear. Folks, a warm welcome for, I guess, at least an original East Coast guy, another one, the Duke of Uke.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to get started right here. Oh, now they make movies in old black and white with happy endings when nobody fights. But if you find yourself in a nostalgic rage, just jump right up and act your age. Well, now that I'm old, I don't wear underwear, I don't go to church, and I don't cut my hair. But I can go to the movies and see it all there, the way that it used to be. Oh, I wish I had a pencil-thin mustache, the Boston black egg kind, a two-tone Ricky Ricardo jacket, and an autograph picture of Andy Devine. Oh, I remember being buck-toothed and skinny, writing fan letters to Sky King and Penny. If I only had a pencil-thin mustache, then I could solve some mysteries too. Then it's bandstand Disneyland, growing up fast, drinking on a fake ID. The Rama of the jungle was everybody's wanna, and only jazz musicians were smoking marijuana. Well, I wish I had a pencil-thin mustache, the Boston black egg kind, a two-tone Ricky Ricardo jacket, and an autograph picture of Andy Devine. Well, I could be anything that I want to be, Suave Errol Flynn or the Sheik of Araby. If I only had a pencil-thin mustache, off to college to gain a little knowledge. But all you want to do is learn how to score. Well, I wish I had a pencil-thin mustache, the Boston Black kind, a two-tone Ricardo jacket, and an autograph picture of Andy Devine. Real cream, a little dabble, do ya? I could do some cruising too. Thank you, thank you. Well, you did such a wonderful introduction of my buddy Steve. I'm going to do a song by Steve. Steve wrote all my original songs. I've long gone under the waterfall. It isn't that I hate the world, but the sun shines through like a super ball, like a big green pearl, and it shines, oh mama, come see. I've been rocking the cradle since time began. I'm your master of time, rhythm and rhyme, your phantom lover, your candy man. The oak tree don't need an alibi. He knows the world is upside down, with his great roots all hanging in the sky, well as in the ground. And it shines, oh mama, come see. I've been rocking the cradle since time began. I'm your master of time, rhythm and rhyme, your phantom lover, your candy man. Don't you kick a lame man, he'll get you with his cane, and he's likely to remain. Just ask you how you been. No, it's all the same, man. Tomorrow it will rain, and then the next day the sun will shine again. And it shines, oh mama, come see. I've been rocking the cradle since time began. I'm your master of time, rhythm and rhyme, your phantom lover, your candy man. Guys, I really love this place. I'm going to be back more often, I promise.
Excellent. The Duke of Uke. Thank you so much. What a great set. That sounded fantastic. And